line up this afternoon, starting lineups. I think Fury's pretty much unchanged except for one, but let's get to the New York Red Bulls first.
Yeah, as we have a look at New York Red Bulls 2, led by head coach John Walniak. Evan Loro gets the start in goal. Reese Buckmaster, Sean Nellis, Jordan Scarlett, Edgardo Rito across the back line for the Eastern Conference leading Red Bulls 2. Kyle Zeitz, Chris Lima, Jared Stroud, Sebastian Elney, and Marcus Epps, who wears the captain's armband for New York this morning. He will lead them up top. And for the home side, Ottawa Fury FC, well, a lineup that I think we pretty much, I think safe to say, can expect. Good to have Val fall back from injury. Callum Irving has cemented himself as the #1 keeper. He starts in goal. Jeremy Gagnon-Laparé, Thomas Mayer-Giguère, Nana Adakora, and the captain Carl Howarth across the back line. Dakota Barnathan, Charlie Ward, Val Fall in the midfield, Kevin Oliveira, Cristiano Francois on the wide sides with Moore Sam in the middle for Ottawa Fury FC.
And I think it'll be crucial to get Howarth and Gagnon-Laparé down the flanks. Get them releasing as quickly as they can into midfield for support. And if they get a chance to get to the byline, whip some decent balls in for Oliveira, Francois, and anybody else that makes a run into the box.
And we saw that so much in Ottawa's last match against Atlanta United too, just how much they were using that wide side. They were almost playing just kind of the two center backs in Mayer-Giguère and Adakora, and then you had Dakota Barnathan kind of sitting as that holding midfielder back in there. So expect to see that again today. And of course, Ottawa Fury FC, a well-rested side. They haven't played since that game against Atlanta United too, and that was what, 11-12 days ago, Gord, because last weekend's fixture against St. Louis was postponed due to severe flooding in the St. Louis area, so Ottawa did not make the trip. So that allowed them to get a little bit more rest, where New York Red Bulls 2, they were in action on Friday night, a 5-0 victory over Birmingham Legion. And of course, because St. Louis wasn't playing, that allowed Red Bulls 2 to leapfrog them for top spot in the USL Championship Eastern Conference table. And we are underway here at TD Place, the annual school day game here. Expect plenty of noise over the course of the next 90-plus minutes. Foul called there early. Carl Howard challenged for the ball there, so free kick coming early to Ottawa Fury FC.
And I think it's important we do point out that with the big lad, the big striker up front, Barlow, missing here this afternoon, it is a really good opportunity for the Fury to possibly, just see out these first 10-15 minutes if you can. A very, very potent lineup, potent squad here for the Red Bulls, and obviously anytime you have that affiliation, Graham, with an MLS team, there's always a possibility that you're bringing in quality players in games like this against a Fury team that really have started the season off a lot better than we've seen in previous seasons.
Yeah, no, you can certainly see kind of the continuity, and the system has been there really from the get-go for Ottawa, and they've only built on that game by game. Should mention that, even though they are missing their top scorer in Tom Barlow, they still have Jared Stroud in the lineup this morning, and he also has been very effective for New York in their opening 8 fixtures of the season. As we have a look at the substitutes for Ottawa Fury FC this morning, David Monsalvi, the backup goalkeeper, Onawa Obasi, Jamar Dixon, the substitute defenders, Chris Manila and Luca Ricci in the midfield, Aiden Daniels and Prote Mutambala, the 2 strikers available for Nikola Popovic on the substitutes bench. Free kick coming for New York in the early going here. This one whipped into the back post, going up for the header. Wasn't hit cleanly, and that will go out for the goal kick.
Well, Callum Irving decided to stay on his goal line there, not come for that very high lofted ball. I think the defence were probably expecting the big keeper to come for that. Mayer-Giguère got caught behind the attacker on that free kick coming in from a wide position. Fury very, very fortunate. A decent purchase wasn't made on the header, and they survived that free kick.
Yeah, the big body of Sean Nellis looking for that cross. Couldn't get it cleanly, but New York back pressuring now. Played down the line, headed forward by Carl Howarth, out of the reach of Cristiano Francois, who in Ottawa's last match, that 2-0 victory over Atlanta United 2, he scored his first goal in Fury colors. So most certainly his most impressive performance to date for Ottawa. and you can see it building for Francois.
And I think one of the things that we look at Francois' progression over the course of the first 6 or some odd games, Graham, is that he hadn't been playing poorly. You know, he'd been getting involved in the attack. He'd been trying to bring the other 2 strikers up front into the play and try to link up with the midfielders coming through. So it's nice to see him get off the duff there last week with his first goal for the Fury.
Stroud trying to work past Howarth, delivers one into the penalty area. That one headed away calmly by Thomas Meyer-Giguère. And in talking about Cristiano Francois, Meyer-Giguère, you could argue that he might have one-upped them in that game against Atlanta, scoring a fantastic goal on the volley. But now Meyer-Giguère down on the turf after that challenge there.
Yeah,
slaps the left knee.
I think it was just a case of the 2 players just go for the ball at the same time, Graham, and unfortunately Meyer-Giguère was able to just get there ahead of the striker and get it cleared away. A little bit of clip on the heels there, and down he goes. But yeah, I mean, we have them in the post-match interview last home game after he scored the goal. He says he had no idea what he was doing up in the box. One of the quotes of the season for the Ottawa Fury so far. I had no idea what I was doing in the box. And it wasn't as if it came off a set play or anything like that. He just happened to be pushing up into attack, I suppose. And I'm sure Nikola Popovic was pulling his hair out after saying, why is my stopper in the 18-yard box from open play? But well done to him for reading. Obviously it was a danger.
Sam tries to head that on to Oliveira. That one headed away. Meyer-Giguère tries to head it back into the fray for Ottawa. Cleared back to Adekora. Touches it back to Callum Irving. Sprays it to the wide side for Carl Howarth. Tries to play it into the middle for Francois. Cleared away. First under that was Dakota Barnathan to Volfall. Gagnon Laparé mishits that ball intended for Oliveira into touch. 5th minute here at TD Place, 0-0 between Ottawa Fury FC and New York Red Bulls 2 in the annual school day match. Should note that the substitutes on the day for New York: Alex Babachia, the backup goalkeeper; Preston Kilwine on defense alongside Janos Luba, the other defender; Sean McSherry in the midfield; and Ben Mines up front. Available the 5 substitutes for New York. And our officials for today's match: Yusri Rudolph is in the middle, Philip Petezquesi and Jason Alinsky on the lines, and Sebastian Noshin Ravini, the 4th official here this morning. Long ball played forward. Moore Sam, first to get there for Ottawa. Waits for support, beats his man to the left. Sam cutting to the goal line, still in possession. Sam plays it back to the top to Fall. He's got it, Fall! His first goal in Fury colors. What a setup from Moore Sam, and Fall buries it to give Ottawa the 1-0 lead in the 6th minute.
Well, what an absolutely glorious start for the Ottawa Fury. That all came from 20 yards deep from their own goal, Graham. A long ball played up and over the right back here, down the side. Sam, tremendous piece of trickery. And here he cuts to the byline. He possibly could have looked for a penalty there, went down. But what vision to see Fall coming in at the edge of the 18-yard box. Drives it into the bottom left-hand corner. Ottawa 1, New York 0.
Fantastic start for Ottawa, and you want to get the crowd into it. You've got a ton of young people here today, and you know they're going to bring the noise as it is, but getting them on their feet inside 6 minutes. Great work by Moore Sam to get beyond Jordan Scarlett and set up Volfall, who of course returning from injury in this match. And I think it's safe to say that you know the caliber of player that he is, and you want more from Volfall. Well, you get it there as he scores his first goal in Fury colors. A fantastic finish, and Ottawa Fury FC are off to the races early here.
It really is, Graham. I mean, 5.5 minutes into this match, and it's, you know, like as I said, the ball came as just a long ball played out from defence. New York didn't cover it properly at all. But when Sam squared up to his defender, he just skipped beyond him, and he was always looking to favourites to get, looking as a favourite to get that ball cut back into the 18-yard box, Graham. And there's one thing that we've said over the course of this season so far: we need to try and get attacking midfielders into good forward positions, good supporting positions. In some cases, Graham, even getting them beyond the strikers. Well, there we saw Fall getting into the 18-yard box. Very, very good. Great start for the Ottawa Fury.
And you wonder how much of that now plays into the role that, look, at they've moved Dakota Barnathan. He was playing center back alongside Mayer Giguère. They move Atakora back into that role. And, of course, that was a fantastic partnership last year for Ottawa between Mayer Giguère and Atakora. Barnathan now goes into that holding midfield role, pushing Charlie Ward that much higher up the park, and now allowing Val Fall to push even further higher up the park for Ottawa. And when you know the caliber of player that he is, and you see it on that goal, when he can be in that advanced position, what he's capable of doing.
Well, I think it's just to have intelligent enough midfielders, Graham, to realise there's an opportunity here. If I can shake off my marker in central midfield, if he's not tracking me back properly, if that ball gets back to me at the edge of the box, if I take a chance and get in there, I've got an opportunity to put the ball in the back of the net. And what a clinical finish. A lot of times midfielders get into those positions, game, and they really try to welly the ball, and it ends up going 15, 20 yards over the crossbar. He realised where the goalie was positioned, slotted it into the bottom left-hand corner, and a wonderful, wonderful start for the Ottawa Fury here this morning. Got to be careful you keep saying this morning, not this afternoon.
More Sam back in possession now for Ottawa on the right side. Sam delivers this one in. That one will take a deflection.
Oh, it came back off of Sam, the referee saying. He's not having it at all.
Well, the Jason Alinsky on the line actually called it as a corner, but overruled by Yusri Rudolph, much to the protest of More Sam. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com.
Well, when this season started, Graham, we had Carl Howard playing up front. Obviously, he's going back into what is now, I would think, his more recognised role at a right-back position, replacing Eddie Edward, obviously, who retired at the beginning of the season. But there's a bit of a concern as to who the third striker was going to be eventually. We had Francois, we had Oliveira. My goodness, Moore Sam has just come in, Graham, and he's really made that central striking role his own. He's looked lively in every single game he's played in. He's come on as a sub once or twice. He's turned some of the fortunes of the Fury in an attacking sense around. And he really looks like a keeper here in 2019. Someone that I think they can build on and have players like Oliveira and Francois feed off. But that was absolutely outstanding skill by Sam down this left-hand side. And he was intelligent enough just to wait, see where the support was coming inside the box, Graham, and pick out foul at the edge to put it in the back of the net. So we have another player down for the Ottawa Fury.
Well, unfortunately for Fall, since scoring that goal, he's taken a couple knocks and a bit of a nasty one there, helped up by Callum Irving. Be sure to tune in on Wednesday, May 22nd for the ESPN USL Championship Game of the Week on ESPN News, as league newcomers Birmingham Legion FC welcome Nashville SC. It's the week's best match on the Game of the Week, May 22nd on ESPN News.
A very bright play again down the right-hand side there. Howard to Sam to Oliveira. Looking really, really good here inside these first 10 minutes of Ottawa Fury. You talked about the layoff, Graham, and sometimes you get a little bit of rust on you there because you haven't played in 12 or some odd days, but my goodness, they've come right out of the gates here. Almost like maximum security. Let's hope it doesn't go the wrong way that it did on the weekend for the Horse.
Carl Howard's delivery, and that one headed out by Moore Sam, missing wide of the goal. Thomas Mayer Giguère calmly chests it down. Surveys his option, tries to go over the top to Val Fall. Scarlett first under that. Sean Nellis. Ooh, Kevin Oliveira, nasty fall, and that did not look good on the shoulder, the way he came down. All the weight down on that right arm. Yeah,
I think he got submarined there. I'm not quite sure if the player just stuck his backside out there and over he went, but as it goes up into the air, nah, nothing in that at all. I mean, the player doesn't even see him coming, Graham.
No, it was incidental from Jean Kofi, but you see just the way that that arm comes down when the full of the weight.
Certainly not comfortable landing, that's for sure, but
As someone with too many shoulder dislocations in my life, I'm cringing right now.
Another opportunity now for the Fury to get the ball into the box. Carl Haworth, more than likely right foot. Now, I'm not a big, that's what I'm saying. Now get him away here, get him into the box himself. A little bit too heavy.
That one in behind Dakota Barnathan, and that one shepherded out for the goal kick. 13th minute here at TD Place, 1-0. Ottawa Fury FC leading New York Red Bulls 2 on a 6-minute strike from Vol Fall.
Well, the Red Bulls have tried this long kick out a couple of times now, just trying to catch the Ottawa Fury out, Graham. And every time it's been 1v3. I mean, obviously you want to try and catch the Fury out when they've pushed players up into the box on a free kick, but maybe just settle it down if you're New York right now.
Ball played over the top. Opportunity here for New York, and that one side-footed just wide of the goal by Sebastian Elney.
Yeah, a little bit fortunate again there, Irving, as that ball gets played through. A lovely little chip ball. Irving, he seems starting to come, and then he realises the ball's going to check up outside the 18-yard box, and he starts backtracking. At that point, if that ball gets beyond him, he's on target. It's in the back of the net because his momentum was taking him back towards goal. It would have been hard to adjust his feet.
And that was,
get down quickly.
My correction was Marcus Epps. He's wearing the captain's armband for New York. That missed wide on that opportunity. Fall goes up for the challenge against Sean Nellis, and that is a big-bodied center back that Ottawa is going to have to contend with today. Put away by Haworth. Falls to the feet of Oliveira.
Now, one thing I'm noticing, Graham, right now is that both teams, certainly with this setup, are playing a very, very narrow game here this afternoon. There's not an awful lot of width. If you look at the park right now, there's only right now Haworth and Oliveira are starting to make their way over to the other side of the park. It's really very congested right down the middle, and depending on which side the ball is on, everybody's coming across to those sides. So I think at some point somebody's just got to let's just put it out wide. Let's get it out wide, really stretch the midfield a little bit, and force the opposition to deal with those runs coming from midfield like we are right now for the Fury.
Another ball played over the top, which seems to be the favourite attempt attacking wise for New York, at least in the early goings here.
And if they've looked at it, Graham, and saw that the fullbacks like to push up, it's entirely possible that's where they're seeing the spaces are going to develop here this afternoon. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, and that's what I think, you know, when teams have created opportunities against Ottawa, because they don't give up too much defensively, let's be honest here. It has been that ability to try and find those pockets, not in the middle between Meyer Giguère and Adekora, but kind of between the two center backs and their respective kind of the fullbacks, because with them pushing that much higher. Now, the one thing you can say, especially on that right side with Carl Haworth, he can get back in a hurry.
Yeah.
While Gagnon Laparade doesn't necessarily have the same pace that Haworth might, he certainly has that defensive awareness, and that's why he's been used kind of in that defensive midfield role or as a wing back.
And I think that's what New York are obviously trying to do with these diagonal balls, get the lads running down the channel, as you said, in between the stopper and the fullback.
Oliveira breaking into the penalty area here, and that forced a strong challenge there from Sean Nellis, as Oliveira was trying to find a seam to play it over to Moore Sam, who was running down Main Street, but Ottawa wins the corner.
Well, here we see the long ball just getting lumped forward, Graham, on the replay. It's flicked on by a Red Bulls right to Oliveira's path. And that's a terrific challenge there by Nellis with his close foot, making sure he's not going to be late on that. Goes to ground and gets the ball knocked out for a corner. Yeah,
and that was Scarlett's header that ended up sending Kevin Oliveira in. Carl Haworth now settles behind the corner as Jussi Rudolph has some conversation in the 6-yard box. Lots of shirts at that near post as Ottawa whips this one in, and that forces Loro to punch it over the bar, but a foul called there against Ottawa.
I think it
might have been Adekora.
Okay. No, I think it was Barnathan that was just getting a little bit too close to the goalkeeper there, 58 from behind. As we see a nice ball swung in right on top of the goalkeeper, and the referee obviously saw a little bit of contact there from Dakota Barnathan as that ball was safely put over by the goalkeeper.
Now that we're seeing that happen in kind of like the second year under Nikola Popovic, I think it's safe that we can call it a Fury trademark for their corners.
But the thing is, again, if you watch any game, you're going to see 4 or 5 of those. Now teams are doing the same thing. They're just parking right around the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper's waiting for the contact, and the referee's calling the free kick.
Let's head down pitch side to hear from Tyler McDonald. Tyler?
Thank you very much, Graham. And we're talking to Nikola Popovich during training last week in preparation for this game. He was talking how high and how aggressive New York Red Bulls to press up the field, and that could possibly kind of try and catch them with a couple of men back and outnumber them. We've seen that with a few times so far with Ottawa Fury having chances with men in their favor. And I'm sure we'll have to see an adjustment from New York Red Bulls coming forward if they want to get rid of that counterattack coming against them. Back to you guys.
Thanks very much, Tyler. And foul called there on the touchline against Jeremy Gagnon-Laparé.
Yeah, crunching tackle there from.
Yeah, that was on the captain Epps.
Yeah. Again, another dangerous opportunity for the big lad Nellis to come up from the back, and again it's up to Callum Irving. That 6-yard box area is his. If it's anywhere in there, he's got to make contact, punch, catch, anything you want. But outside of that, you let your other lads take care of it.
Free kick coming from right side to the left of Callum Irving. Morsam first to it for Ottawa, clears that one away, and Cristiano Francois gives chase. Evan Laura well out of his goal. Punches that one forward. New York now in possession inside the Ottawa penalty area. Delivery into the back post far too heavy, and that will go out the wide side, and Howarth will let that one roll into touch for an Ottawa throw.
Well, that
as we tick over into the 20th minute with Ottawa leading 1-0.
That second ball that got played in the Graham Thomas, Mayer Jaguar played them on side. He was about 2 or 3 yards behind everyone else that had pushed up. Very, very fortunate for the Ottawa Fury. Nothing came of that.
New York back pressing down that left side. Delivered in. Barnathan first to it for Ottawa, and that one out for a New York corner.
Well, as we said, New York coming in, 8 games played, 6 wins, 1 loss, 1 tie, a goal difference of plus 12, 19 points, 4 wins out of their last 5, and of course that 5-0 win against Birmingham, their last outing.
Delivered into the top of the 6. That one cleared away acrobatically by Sam. Now Cristiano Francois trying to find some room to make a run here. He's fouled with Charlie Ward trying to press forward.
And that might go to his pocket for this one, Graham. Yeah.
For the school day game, do we call that detention?
Oh dear. Sent to the principal maybe. I don't know.
I guess Yusri Rudolph is the principal for all intents and purposes today, no?
He could be. He could be. You're as bad as Tyler was off the top of the show.
We might have discussed things.
I saw the two of you having your pre-game meal together, so I figured something might be going on.
Fix is in, buddy.
There you go.
Brought down by Oliveira. His effort blocked by Scarlett. Another effort by Oliveira, but punches that one well over the bar.
Well, when that ball dropped off his chest, he only had one thing in mind, Graham. He got a second bite at the cherry, and he almost did the exact same thing with it, just got underneath it too much. The ball up and over the top, but it's been a pretty entertaining 20-21 minutes we've had here so far. Goalmouth incidents left and right. We've got an early goal from the Ottawa Fury. I think if the goal had gone the other way, it might have been a little bit different. New York may have decided to sit in for a little bit, but now they've got to come out. They've got to answer the bell here for the Ottawa Fury. I thought I'd throw one in myself. What the heck?
Ball sprays that one forward, looking for Oliveira. Scarlett first to it.
Dear.
And a foul called against Kevin Oliveira as Scarlett goes down.
I thought Oliveira had hurt himself again there.
Fans, follow the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN Plus, home to the USL, MLS, UFC, and more. Join over 2 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN Plus and watch the championship live every week. Sign up today at espnplus.com.
Oliveira picking up a yellow card there, Graham, for a bit of a late tackle on the Red Bull defender there. But again, you're given far too many free kicks in and around this attacking third area, Graham. You've got to just make sure you're defensively sound. You are getting support from your keeper behind you. And here we see it was Epps and all.
That was.
Tell you what, I mean,
late.
You know what? And not just that, but with the feet coming in at the angle it was, some might even look to that as possible studs issue.
Delivered into the top of the 18. Mayer Giguère uncontested for that header. But New York will maintain possession here. That one hit. So New York pass it around nicely here. Good block there by Oliveira. That one out for another New York corner after that attempted delivery by Edgardo Rito. Red Bulls settle behind this corner here. Left-footed in-swinger. Fall heads that one away as Irving was diving out to punch it away. Another ball delivered in. Paul gets a piece of it. That one on target. And a good save by Callum Irving with Sean Nellis looking for a loose ball. Might have got a poke to it, but Irving suffocated that one.
Well, I thought when the first ball came in off the free kick, we did hear Callum Irving for a shout. Fall went for it, got it cleared away, but that's a good save. Quickly down to stop. Gallas up the rebound with a player right on top of him, Graham. Callum Irving certainly, as a shot stopper, very, very solid type of player that as your games go on over the course of the season, we saw this with Max Crepeau last year, Graham. Didn't start the season for the Ottawa Fury, ended up coming in. In fact, I think he replaced Callum Irving as the season went on, and of course Max just went from strength to strength and ended up getting transferred or traded away to Vancouver, where he's now starting for Mark Dos Santos. But again, same situation here where you've got Callum Irving now. He's got his hands on that #1 jersey, and I think it's going to take an awful lot for him to give it up here in 2019. Lovely save, good stop there to keep it at 1-0.
Let's head down pitch side for another update from Tyler McDonald. Tyler?
Thank you very much, Graham. And little changes coming from the New York Red Bulls sideline as Oliveira with a ambitious effort from outside the 18. If you want to say the yellow card is a detention, then I would say that head coach John Wolinek is changing the syllabus for New York Red Bulls too, as trying to sneak another midfielder back, noticing the pace of Kevin Oliveira and Cristiano Francois coming back on the counter, as they're starting to notice the quick transitions that Fury are trying to get with the Red Bulls pressing so high. So adjustments coming from the New YorkRed Bulls side. See if it pays off for them. Back to you guys.
Thanks very much, Tyler.
Okay,
and
we are now done.
No.
We are now done with any school day references, please.
No, because I've got the whole lineup set up as the periodic table. It's really good.
Listen, I've got to say, we're 25 minutes into this first half. We saw the last game against Atlanta United. We haven't seen Charlie Ward at all, Graham, involved in this match. I really don't think you've even called his name over the first 25 minutes. Yes, he's playing in a wider role in central midfield. He would normally be in that role that Dakota Barnathan is playing, but we've got to get Charlie Ward involved an awful lot more here for the Ottawa Fury. He's such a terrific player, Graham, that's got the ability to get the ball up and over, to get it short, to play it long, and make a huge difference for the Ottawa Fury this afternoon.
Jean Kofi was cutting in there. His attempted effort turned aside, but now New York try down the left side. That one cleared away by the captain, Carl Howarth, into touch at midfield. 26th minute here at TD Place. Ottawa Fury FC leading 1-0 on that early goal from the German striker, or midfielder I should say, Val Fall.
Yeah, and he missed the last, was it 2 games he missed, Graham, and it's nice to see him back. He brings a different dynamic in central midfield, the ability to get forward, as we said, but he's also intelligent enough to know what his defensive responsibilities are. You're playing a narrow midfield three, you've got to be wary of the players coming in from outside or defenders coming forward and behind you.
New York pressuring again here, cutting inside. A good effort by Howarth as he was beaten, but gets back in position to block that effort out for another New York corner.
Yeah, there's good defensive play there by Carl, just sticking the left leg up there and catching it.
Well, that's been a great battle in the early going between he and Jared Stroud. New York elect to take it short. Well, that one will be intercepted by Cristiano Francois. He tries to break with pace down that right side, but it's knocked into touch, and he'll now hold things up as Ottawa moves its players forward. Sam receives the throw in from Howarth. Turns off some pressure. Nice move to get beyond his man there. Sam still trying to go. That one out of the reach of Cristiano Francois, and Jordan Scarlett takes over for New York.
Well, the chemistry of this front three, Graham, just getting better and better every single 90 minutes they get to play together. And as I said earlier, really impressed with Sam, how he's fitted in almost seamlessly into that central striking role.
Howarth intercepts that pass. Plays that one high, and that one just offside by a couple of yards by Cristiano Francois, who is broken away from Sean Nellis.
Again, you see what the Fury are doing. They're having that quick look up, Graham. They're seeing, is there an option available? And that's where the goal came from, up and over the top. Sam was able to get on the end of it.
Well, in fairness, New York isn't doing anything that much different from Ottawa. You really see Scarlett and Nellis checked in as those two center backs. Rito's breaking down that right side, certainly a lot more than Buckmaster on the left, but it's certainly creating those pockets, and that's what Francois, with that pace, is going to try and expose this morning.
I think that's what the 2-4-3-3s, though, that we've set up here today, it is allowing an open game. Nobody's trying to stifle the opposition. Nobody's trying to deny anyone anything. Let's just get out there. You're 11 against our 11, and let's try and score goals and enjoy the game.
Francois tried to poke it past Nellis, but just a big frame to try and get beyond. And now an opportunity for New York as they break forward with numbers. Adekora tries to close his man down. Great challenge on Stroud, and now Howarth back to collect the loose ball. Great work by Nana Adekora. Had to be a timely challenge. Charlie Ward. There, I said his name, Gordy.
That's the ball. There you go. That's a terrific first-time ball as well.
Oliveira on the left side. Surveys his options. Oh, heavy touch as he cuts into the middle.
Well, that was a terrific break there, Graham, because when Carl Howarth lost the ball on the far side, Barnathy was a little bit slow to get across and cover. It was a 1v1 against Adekora. Terrific tackle inside the box. Again, much like Nellis earlier on, you've got to be careful when you go to ground. Terrific tackle, and the Fury just broke up, Graham. 5-6 passes in a row, all the way from their own 18-yard box to about 30 yards from goal, where unfortunately Oliveira's touch was a little bit heavy. Very nice to see. Charlie Waggle, a lovely first touch ball, switching it from the right side over here to the left.
And how many times did we see it last year with Adekora, those timely challenges, whether it's you're kind of going down in like that scissor tackle or slide tackles, or just even kind of sticking the boot in a very precarious area of the pitch where you know you have to be spot on with your timing, and that veteran experience shining through for the Canadian international there.
And we've talked about the progression of Thomas Meyer-Giguère over the last 12 months. Well, you know, playing alongside an international like Adekora really does help you, and I think it's one of the things that he's only going to benefit from this year, that chemistry from 2018 coming here for the Fury this year.
Now Adekora in a foot race here with Epps. And Adekora wins the ball and bumps his man to the ground. Sorry, that time it was Sebastian Elney. At least from our vantage point, not the easiest numbers to read on the back of the New York jerseys.
No, they're not.
Volfall challenge from behind. That will draw a foul there as Chris Lima pushed him down just inside the Ottawa half. 31st minute here at TD Place. Ottawa remains in front 1-0 on that goal by the man who was just fouled, Volfall. And I think that goal might have something to do with the number of times we've seen him fouled since.
Yeah.
Heavy touch there from Epps allowed Meyer-Giguère Gagnon Laparé to intercept, play to Meyer-Giguère. His ball out of reach for Kevin Oliveira as New York looked to reset through Evan Laurel. Now Sean Nellis.
I've got to be honest with you, Graham, just taking a look through this roster here for New York. I don't think we've ever called a game where so many high numbers, how many high shorted numbers. 91, 72, 80. We've got 60 and a 66 sitting on the bench. An awful lot of high numbers here this morning for the New York Red Bulls, and a lovely crowd out here enjoying the morning sun in the nation's capital. Is probably about maybe 9 or 10 degrees by kickoff, warming up a wee bit nicely.
All right, seeing as how class is in session, some sports Ottawa Fury trivia for you.
Okay. What
player wore the highest number in Fury FC history, and what was that number?
Dear. You're talking 2014 NASL? Okay, well, I'm not going to bother saying it because the producer just buzzed it in my ear, showing off there on a school day. Well done.
I like it. That's good. That's good that Colin knows that. That's great. Well done, Colin. I'm impressed. Yes, Danny Mwenga, or number 99, came over from the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Stroud looks to be onside here, in behind Adekora, who gives chase. Stroud has to put on the brakes. Daniel Laparé comes back to dispossess him. Stroud remains down on the pitch, grasping his right knee.
Well, I really do like the runs that Stroud is making, though, Graham. He's just sitting on the shoulder, whether it's Haworth, Adekora, Meyer-Jaguer, and he's just willing that ball to get played through. There he is.
That was a well-timed run, as you're going to
really
see.
Was.
As he was just sitting inside of Adekora and just made that turn as the ball was touched.
And I think the unfortunate part for him was that it was just lofted so high. If it had been chipped up and over maybe 10 feet, Graham, and it hits the ground, and he's got a little bit more time to decide what he's going to do with it. But it just allowed Adekora and Meyer-Jaguer time to get back, like Gagnon Laparé as well, to get back and get the ball cleared away.
And New York play on turf as well, so they should be kind of accustomed to kind of the pace in which you want to deliver the ball, how it's going to check up for you type situation. Battle there, Charlie Ward trying to win back possession for Ottawa. And you can really see that it's that favored side down the left flank for New York, at least when they're trying to go and use their width, because a lot of it has really been generated through the middle so far this morning. Meyer-Jaguer calmly clears that one away. Get updates and alerts all year long by following your club on ESPN.com. Search for Ottawa Fury FC and then click on follow to keep up with the latest news and scores, plus get reminders on Fury FC's next match. Go to ESPN.com now and click follow for your club.
Yeah, Oliveira's got to get to that ball first. He can't afford to let it run across him, and I think he's just indicating to Gagnon Laparé he wanted it up and over the top. Again, he'd gotten in behind of the fullback, Rito down this right-hand side, and very, very unlucky that he wasn't able to get beyond the stopper as he came across. But I've got to say, we did highlight Stroud as the player to watch at the top of the show, Graham, and he hasn't disappointed us here at all this morning. He's been very, very lively, certainly in the attacking third.
Francois with the delivery from the right side, that one out of the reach as it was too deep into the 6-yard box for Kevin Oliveira. Evan Loro easily collects that one. And that's been another good battle. Cristiano Francois down that right side and meeting a very sizable center back in Sean Nellis. So size meets speed in that battle, and I'm sure we'll see that much more throughout the course of this match.
Offside that, yeah, just there's a half step there. I think the one thing that has to be a little bit of concern here for the Ottawa Fury, the first 20-25 minutes were good. You were getting a lot of good penetrating balls in behind, you were getting good penetrating runs. We haven't seen an awful lot in these last 10-15 minutes, Graham. It's been mostly Red Bull controlling the ball at the back, getting the ball into midfield, and a lot of the play has been progressing towards the Ottawa defensive third. So a little bit of a concern. The three lads up front haven't been given an opportunity to get the ball at their feet, maybe create something, maybe buy a little bit more time at the back for the defence to get the breath back, because this New York team certainly just will keep coming and coming at you.
More Sam. Oliveira, Francois trying to get wide, cuts back onto his left. Francois chips it over for
offside.
Oliveira, and the offside flag is up there.
That was better. That was better for the Fury. Again, you're getting to the edge of the attacking third and you're trying to think, okay, what can we create? Am I getting any runs ahead of me? And as that ball get chipped to the back post, Oliveira just a yard offside there. A pretty easy call for the official on the far side.
Almost needed a bit of a back heel to Haworth, who had a little bit of space out on that right flank, and it wasn't going to give you that immediate opportunity.
Good overlap,
but at least maintaining that possession.
Another quick early free kick there, caught out by the Fury.
Ball played wide for Stroud. Adekora down to close him. Stroud trying to find a seam, turns back on Adekora. And there's another delivery in, that one deflected out off the right foot of Nana Adekora for another New York corner.
Yeah, on their heels just a little bit, Graham, as we said, over these last 10-15 minutes. And I think it's just a case of settling things down if you can. See these next 8 or 9 minutes out to halftime.
Fourth corner of the match for New York. That one takes a deflection and easily handled by Callum Irving, uncontested. I think that was off the boot of Sean Nellis, but he didn't get much on it.
And Francois had peeled away down the right channel there looking for an early ball, but Red Bulls had 3 grey shirts getting back to cover him, so there really wasn't an opportunity for Irving to play it too quick.
Rito. New York move it around inside the Ottawa half. Back to Jordan Scarlett. Zayats. Now Rito. Edgardo Rito. Going wide. That delivery knocked down by Gagnon Laparine. A great header from Volfall, who was down on his backside to keep it in play for Ottawa. That will go into touch. Played back in by Epps. Hard challenge there behind from Charlie Ward.
It was a bit of a crunching tackle coming straight through the back of him, and those are the type of ones that you possibly could see a yellow card getting pulled out, Graham, but it doesn't appear to. Oh yeah, he is maybe calling him over now and just having some discussion about it.
I think that's Zayats who's on the ground, and
yeah, he is getting a yellow card.
Yeah. He was going for the foul the whole way. Like there was no question about what was going down there. Well, we have a break here as Zayats is being attended to on the field. Let's head down to pitch side and join Tyler McDonald.
Yeah, that challenge just knee right in the lower back, and that's where they're working on the pitch right now for the New York Red Bulls. Another note coming from the Red Bulls bench. John Wolyniuk getting a little more animated as this game goes on, really wanting his team to move the ball quicker in the midfield. They seem to be moving the ball pretty quick, but not quick enough for the New York Red Bulls bench. He wants to see quicker decisions and quicker passes going toward the offensive goal for New York Red Bulls too. A little shaky and a little unhappy with the defending on the counter pieces still so far, but has been happy in terms of the slow pace that when Ottawa Fury breaks down the other way, he's been happy the way his back four have been defending. Just a little extra animated, John Wolyniuk today. I think he had his morning coffee and is enjoying arguing with the fourth official today. Back to you guys.
Yeah, tough challenge there, and I stand corrected. It was Jared Stroud who was down. My apologies. It wasn't Zayats. Now a free kick coming here for New York. Delivered right in on target, and that was never going to trouble Callum Irving from that distance, and no pressure from anywhere else. I'm not sure if that was something that didn't come off as it was too, but
pretty tame effort, Graham, to be honest. You brought the big lads up from the back. They were lined up at the edge of the penalty box. You got a pretty tame shot from all of what must have been about 25, 26 yards. Really didn't bother Irving whatsoever.
Foul there on Carl Howarth as he's brought down in the midfield.
Tyler brought up an interesting point about the fact that New York are having time to pass the ball around. I think that's because the Fury have dropped off. We saw a high press early on in that first 10-15 minutes. It's almost like they've had a flag waved, and it's like, okay, let's come back on our own side of half. Just allow New York that time on their own half as well as quickly into the midfield third. But I think possibly early in the second half you see the high press coming back from the Ottawa Fury.
Howarth sprays that one wide, falls to Barnathan in space, and he tries to chip it. And Evan Loro able to jump and retrieve that. Just not enough speed on it. Certainly had the right line. A good effort from Dakota Barnathan.
Well, it was a wonderful free kick driven into the back post. They had the overlap coming around from Barnathan. I'm not sure if he was caught in two minds whether to have a shot right on the volley. He brought it down. And if he was trying to knock it back into the danger area, Graham, unfortunately that didn't come off. But fair play to him for getting up into an attacking area.
And you used a good word there about how Howard drives it in.
Yeah.
Right? And from that distance, oftentimes you see a ball get lobbed in, and you've seen, you know, the strength in the air from Jordan Scarlett and from Sean Nellis. So Ottawa's going to have work to do to win those aerial balls on the set pieces, but it's the way that he's able to drive it in. You can see how easy it was for Barnathan to have it under control on that first touch.
And Carl's been doing that since even when he played with the Fury in PDL. I mean, he's been around here forever. I think it's his 6th season now, 7th season with the organisation, Graham. But either way, I mean, he brings so much. And we talked about, he obviously started off his career as a striker, then he's played out wide in a winger. Now he's moved back into a full-back role, and he really has just a little bit offside there again. Francois just switched off a little bit. He's got to be more aware of where the defenders are, the possibility that ball gets knocked into the attacking third. But Carl off a free kick, whether he's shooting at goal, we've seen him score some spectacular goals. But it's that ability to say, I'm going to pinpoint this ball 40 yards from goal, and it's going to be 10 feet high in the air, not 30 feet high in the air. That's crucial. How quickly it arrives there, it makes defenders have to turn quicker, it makes defenders have to be more aware, make decisions earlier, and sometimes that works against them.
Well, I've known Carl since 2013, and we will be having another bet this weekend as his Toffees take on my Spurs as Everton and Tottenham meet in the final Sunday of the English Premier League season. I think we'll have to go I gotta go quadruple the odds, because I think he owes me a few breakfasts.
But before that, you've got a massive game coming up here
this afternoon. My goodness.
I tell you what, if it's anything close to the excitement that we saw around the world saw yesterday.
I don't know if that's possible, just because it's only a 1-0 scoreline going into it. It'd be, because I have a vested interest in one of the teams today, I'd rather just a bit more of a,
that was
straightforward Spurs win, and I'll be happy.
That was out of this world stuff yesterday. It really, really was.
Well,
you can't script. I mean, Barcelona's done it themselves.
I was just going to say, you think back to that PSG game, and you say, well, they've done it, so they know that it's capable of being done, and they had to do it on perhaps even more extreme terms than that. But my goodness, what a game. What a finish. And all I could think about was Bruce Grobbelaar. I know that he was in New York with a Liverpool supporters group watch party as Kevin Oliveira in space in the penalty area. Oh, punched away by Loro on the rebound, just falling in between Cristiano Francois and Vol Fall.
This is danger. This is where New York on the counter looked really, really good, Graham, going forward. But good job by the Fury getting back to cover.
Hearing that we'll have 1 minute of additional time as we've hit 45 minutes here at TD Place, and New York looking to get something here on the cusp of halftime as we move into stoppage time now, their 5th corner of the morning.
Well, there's that chance there out to Oliveira there as he tries to cut back. Decent strike, good height for the goalkeeper. 2 Fury players, good positions inside the box, Graham, just unable to get their foot on the rebound as the goalkeeper punches that one out.
Great work by Callum Irving out to challenge. Had to be sure there, but New York still pressuring. Lima with the delivery, headed away by Oliveira. Corner number 6 of the first half now for New York. Another one delivered in. Adakora and Howarth both converge to send that one clear. Howarth looks to chase this one down. New York still pressuring. Lima tries to cut inside. Knocked away by Oliveira. Sam away to Howarth. New York win it back, and that will draw to conclusion the opening 45 minutes here at TD Place. It's the 6-minute goal by Vol Fall that has Ottawa in front 1-0. Let's head down pitch side as Tyler McDonald is with Ottawa Fury FC head coach Nikola Popovic.
Coach, back and forth matchup so far as your team up by 1 at halftime. Just what did you assess this first half with a very fast-paced game so far?
Yes, we have to slow a little bit the rhythm. We have to get on our pockets and try to keep a little bit more the ball, because it's how they play. It's this transition, contra-press, press, contra-press. So we have to avoid this at all costs. And how we do this? If we have more possession, I think they are dominating us by possession. So we have to be able to get the ball back and try to play a little bit more and slow a little bit more the pace of the game.
Can you feel it on the bench, the 6,000 screaming kids here at TD Place, and how is that energy feeding into your club so far today?
I think they've been fantastic. I think all the people who are here today are bringing us extra energy. It's one more player that we need in the field. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Nikola.
Thank you.
Well, you can certainly feel that extra energy and see it on the pitch this afternoon. Fantastic environment here at TD Place at the annual school day game. It's recess at TD Place. Ottawa Fury FC leading 1-0 through 45 minutes, our halftime. Coming up next, this is Ottawa Fury FC Soccer.
This program brought to you by Gabriel Pizza. Gabriel Pizza, home of the bigger, better pizza. Now available online at GabrielPizza.com.
These photos I had to dig for because I would hide from photos. I didn't want to be acknowledged. What I would say to my former self is just get started, just begin. Go into Good Life, meet with the trainer, go to a class, just start.
Come on, come on.
Come on, go make some friends.
It's so tough to give them a run in the city, but they really love it here. Be gentle, be gentle.
We're making friends. See the one that, well, it's just going in circles?
Yeah.
That's mine. Off.
Come on, time to go. Come here.
The all-new Cross
Come
Track.
here. Now.
It's up for
Oh,
it.
no. Oh, there he goes.
I just shampooed him this morning.
There are 8 million kids in Canada. By the time I finish this sentence, 6 of us will be cyberbullied. By the end of the month, 1 million. Bullied. We're not okay with that.
Welcome back. 1-0 Ottawa Fury FC lead New York Red Bulls 2 at halftime here at TD Place. And yesterday we got the chance to speak to starting goalkeeper Callum Irving about today's matchup.
There's excitement. Obviously, you know, whenever you get a bunch of people in the stands, it's exciting, and the kids have seemed to have a great time in the past 2 years. So I think mutually, you know, it's something that we both look forward to. And as far as an early kickoff time, obviously it's something you never really experience, but it's part of the life, and it's the same time we train every day. So I think, you know, guys will be mentally ready. I think we need to just be, you know, zoned in for 90 minutes because this team, they're relentless. It could be, you know, at a time in the first half or at a time in the second half, they're still going to be trying to play their game and come at us. So obviously it's, you know, all the staples of good defense is communication, organization, being compact, and knowing when to play and when not to play, you know, taking risks out of the back. So again, a full 90 minutes.
Callum Irving there talking about today's matchup, and now we'll send it toward the Week 9 USL and the highlights from that week.
coming up. It's headed and in.
Not it back in. Sandoval is there. So is Hamilton. Loose in front. It's Freighter. What a hit. New Mexico equalizes in the dying moments. It's a hat trick for Freighter. Unbelievable at the lab.
Juan Pablo Capa with a direct free kick. Chips it. A goal! The equalizer for the captain.
Back to the goal scorer. Barnby will try again. And another.
That is absolutely world class. That is much harder than it looks to do.
Didi Traore. Oh my goodness, what a run. Didi Traore crosses. Didi Traore! It is a work of magnificence.
Welcome back to TD Place, the annual school day game. We are at halftime. Ottawa Fury FC leading by a 1-0 score as we have a look around the USL. A couple of news and notes. Indy's Newton voted championship player of the week in Hartford. They finally earned their first point with a draw, and Republic FC signs El Salvador international Barahona. Those are your news and notes from around the USL as we have a look at some upcoming matches. 2 fixtures around the USL tonight. The big matchup in Nashville as Nashville SC home to the Tampa Bay Rowdies. You can catch that one on ESPN News as the USL Championship game of the week. And also coming up later tonight at 10:30, Fresno FC home to Sacramento Republic FC. Let's have a look at the USL Championship standings in the Eastern Conference. And well, that's the side that Ottawa's facing this afternoon, leading the way. New York Red Bulls 2 on top, 6-1-1 through their opening 8 fixtures scored, and that 12 goal difference is really the big one when you think 21 goals inside their opening 8 games. That's a huge feather in the cap for John Wolniak's side.
You have a big 5-0 win there for your last game. That's obviously going to bump that up. It would be sitting down around 7 or 8 depending on how the result actually would have gone out. But the fact of the matter is you're scoring goals. That's all that matters right now. Goals win games. That's obviously a cliche, but it's so true. And you look at the teams that are up at the top, plus 12, plus 6, plus 10, plus 9. That's a huge gap between, as you can see, even the teams down 8 through 10.
And the other team to look in there, team that sits in 4th place in North Carolina FC, 4 wins, a loss, 3 draws in their opening 8 fixtures. That's who Ottawa will take on Sunday afternoon on Mother's Day at 2 o'clock. Another important fixture for Ottawa. And if you think Saturday, they were supposed to play St. Louis, but that game postponed due to the flooding situation in St. Louis. So a pretty hellacious start to the month of March in terms of the quality of the opposition that Ottawa is facing. But
Murderer's Row,
yeah,
so to speak, wasn't it?
Absolutely. And as we've said for so long, you think of just, the parity in the USL Eastern Conference, even going back to last year. Let's have a look at the stats from the opening half here at TD Place. Pretty much even in terms of possession, shots on target, certainly favoring Ottawa, although I think Irving had a couple on him. Maybe he wasn't too troubled by them, so not sure about the quality of that particular stat. But the one that matters, at least for Nikola Popovic's side, is that they're up 1-0. And really, as it goes, I think Ottawa has done very well against a very offensive-minded New York side.
I thought they started off, as I said, the first 15-20 minutes. They got that early goal and it really forced New York. Now we've got to push out a little bit more. They may have been Ottawa may have been trying to see out these first 10-15 minutes, and they were able to do that by getting the goal. I think after that high press stopped. It allowed New York a little bit more time in the back line. It allowed them to push the ball into midfield at their own leisure, and it made it a little bit more difficult for Ottawa to try and come to grips with the game. Last 5-10 minutes they were able to get back into it, 1 or 2 forays up the park, but I think overall 9 shots on goal. I think we've had total of shots at goal. It's been great. It's been a thoroughly entertaining first 45 minutes, and hope we're going to see more of it here in the second half.
Just 2 quick points on that. One thing that we've talked about for probably since the beginning of time for Fury FC is how important it is for them to score the first goal, especially at home. This team just does something so much better when they're playing on their front foot and they're not chasing the game, that they're leading the way. But the other thing I think for Ottawa, we talked about this that win against Atlanta, even their win against, their previous win at home. Just talking about how they need to keep playing the same way even after they score the goal, because we know they can get that second goal. They're really in the driver's seat, but they have to keep doing what got them that first one.
Just keep it simple, keep it basic, do the good things that you can do well, good. The bad things, cut them out, and you got to be successful.
Second half gets underway after this. We'll return to TD Place with Ottawa Fury FC leading by a 1-0 score. This is Ottawa Fury FC Soccer.
This program brought to you by Gabriel Pizza. Gabriel Pizza, home of the bigger, better pizza. Now available online at GabrielPizza.com.
I waited till I was 49, 4 months short of my 50th birthday to start. Wish I'd started a lot earlier. Just start. The first step's the hardest. It's never a direct route to get there. What better investment can you make? Because without health, we've got nothing.
All right, everyone got everything?
Let's go.
I have to go pee. All right, okay.
All right,
Okay.
here we go.
Wait, Dad, hold on. Okay.
All right.
I need my pillow. Christopher!
No. You can't take that.
The brand new 3-row Subaru Ascent. The perfect family SUV for your mostly perfect family.
There are 8 million kids in Canada. By the time I finish this sentence, 6 of us will be cyberbullied. By the end of the month, 1 million. Bullied. We're not okay with that.
Welcome back inside TD Place for the annual school day game. Fury FC leading by a 1-0 score as we have a look at our first half highlights, and this is how Ottawa got in front. Moore Sam with an impressive run down the left side, slots it back to the top of the 18, and Valfall, his first goal in Fury colors, and a beauty it was, and that's why Ottawa is in front 1-0. And then you see plenty of opportunity from New York, some dangerous opportunities, but that center back duo of Meir Giguère and Adakora, as well as Callum Irving with some clutch punch outs, has Ottawa in front.
I think they've been breached a couple of times, and that might be a concern for Popovic, that we're maybe getting caught a little bit too square. You've got to try and stagger that, especially if Jared Stroud's making those channel runs in behind you, Graham. But entertaining first 45 minutes, fingers crossed we see not only the same in the second half, but a few more goals as well.
Yeah, well, and so much pace to this game too. Teams trying to hit on the counter, and they've never shied away from it. We've had a sub here at halftime for Ottawa. Charlie Ward has come out for the Fury, and Chris Manella, who has missed the last couple of games due to a concussion, is now back healthy and returning to the lineup.
And Sean Nayless has come out as well for the Red Bulls, so I'm not quite sure if it's maybe just a case of trying to get players, we've been told 15 out, 55 on, Graham, so it'll be very interesting to see if Nayless possibly picked up an injury. Certainly there has to be a wonder if Charlie Watt picked up an injury, because I mean he's certainly one of the more influential players here for the Fury, and Chris Manella getting an opportunity to get back into the lineup here this afternoon. And if Ward has picked up an injury, he does have that yellow card, Graham, that we saw that he picked up for barging in the back of Stroud, and I just wonder if he might be erring on the side of caution and just getting him on the bench and bringing Manella in and
well, just wonder if he's been carrying something.
Yeah,
because there was this is going back to the Loudon game. You remember the Loudon game, and Charlie Ward picked up a bit of a knock in that one. But that will bring in Preston Kilwine for New York Red Bulls 2 in place of Sean Nellis. So that one certainly seems a bit of a surprising of the two substitutes from our vantage point, at least with how dominant Nellis was both defensively and on set pieces going forward for New York in that first half.
Yeah, and it may just be a case of, you know what, we like to see Kilwine in action and get him in there against a team right now in Ottawa that does like to push the ball forward when they get the opportunity, and see how he reacts defensively himself.
Francois in possession, goes wide to Carl Howarth. Howarth down that right side. Howarth strides by his man, takes a deflection, and Evan Laurel out to collect that one before it goes out for a corner. Let's head back down pitch side and hear from Tyler McDonald. Tyler?
Thank you very much. And Charlie Ward just walked by me coming to sit on the substitute bench, and no limping going on with Charlie's about to get some ice on his legs there. Not 100% sure it's a little blocked from me, but with no limping or anything makes me kind of think, could it have been more of a maintenance sub for Charlie Ward and see Chris Manila get back on? I'll update you if there's anything further on Charlie Ward. Back to you guys.
Thanks very much, Tyler. And yeah, you know that both teams are keeping, I guess part of an eye on the weekend, because Ottawa does have another tough fixture against the North Carolina FC on Sunday afternoon. And again, we talked about it in the pregame, Gord, just about how important perhaps it could play into this one that Ottawa did get last weekend off with that game in St. Louis being postponed. And you think, what, as you called it, that murderer's row to the start of May, it was to be St. Louis, New York, North Carolina. Well, you get that extra break in there, you get some rest, you get bodies back like Manila and Fall from their injuries.
And you also possibly catch a little bit of a break that Barlow wasn't here either. And any player that scored 8 goals in 8 games, irrespective of what the opposition is, Graham, is obviously invaluable to your front line. He's invaluable to how you set your team up. He's invaluable to the system you play in. To have him missing here this afternoon for whatever reason obviously requires a little bit of a shift for the New York Red Bulls head coach.
Howarth taking charge here, directing traffic, plays it wide to Francois. Francois tries to find a seam, delivered into the back post. Fall brings it down nicely, tries to cut back inside. He's dispossessed. Now Oliveira in there looking for it, and that one will go out for a New York throw near the corner flag.
Well, that last attack there for the Ottawa Fury, it was a little bit of a mix-up. I think Francois came far too deep. Carl Howarth, when Sam played that ball across to Carl Howarth, he was in full stride, and he was expecting Francois to be on his horses down the right-hand flank. They ended up almost coming together, and that slowed things up a little bit. If Francois had seen the danger right away, got down the right flank, Carl would have had a better option to get it to him a little bit quicker, maybe catch the Red Bulls out here in the back line.
Fans, the USL unveiled its elite youth platform, USL Academy. This allows clubs at all levels of the USL to develop its local youth. There's an effort, and that one just missing wide. Allowing local youth to compete at the highest level across the United States, including the USL Academy Cup. For more information, visit uslsoccer.com/academy.
I'll never see that last effort there by Noor Sam, but what was important to that whole play developing was the run by Oliveira just ahead of the two stoppers, Graham. It just froze them for a quick second, freed up a little bit of space for Sam to let go with the left foot, and unfortunately just a couple of feet up and over the crossbar. But again, another bright start by the Ottawa Fury. We did see near the end of that first half that we would expect them to come up a little bit more, possibly high press a little bit better than they were in the second half of that first half. And they certainly started out the second half the way the first half started.
Adekor clears that New York opportunity away there. Fall with a touch in there. New York still pressuring here. Francois sprays that one to the left side. Foot race now. Jordan Scarlett and Kevin Oliveira, who shepherds that out for a throw. Ooh, Kilwine under pressure from Sam. I'm not sure if he didn't see it coming, and then a foul coming there against Cristiano Francois as he and Buckmaster collide.
It was a bit of a strange one because the two of them, I think, were going for the ball. The assistant referee's 10 yards away, Graham. He doesn't signal that it was a free kick. The referee's 40 yards away looking at them from behind makes the call. A bit of a strange one there, but the referee makes a decision. That's all that counts.
Breaking down the right side. Rito falls loose. Good challenge there by Val Fall, and Gagnon Laparé does the rest of the work. Sam to Oliveira, puts on the brakes. Oh, nice ball out to the right side to Carl Howarth. He's got room to work. Howarth, the Fury captain, delivers this one in. Will it fall to Sam? Gets a touch. Oh, and a deflection off of Scarlett, and that one out for a corner. Great delivery from Carl Howarth. Sam really needed to bring that back a little bit more inside.
Well, what a terrific counter-attack. I thought he should have taken it first time right there. He hits it, Graham. He's got a better angle. He takes a second touch, but my goodness, what a counter-attack. Wonderful ball played out to Oliveira. He's showing nicely there as the out ball when it comes from the defensive third. But what a lightning pace counter-attack that was, Graham. Carl Howarth once again supporting down this right flank. A lovely ball clipped into the back post, blocked, corner Ottawa.
Howarth with the delivery into Oliveira, bobbles it on the goal line, and that one will go out for a goal kick. So I think they had something there to come off the training ground, but didn't come off.
Great in theory, terrible in practice, to be honest with you, but he obviously shaped the short corner up at the angle, played it along the line, and Oliveira, I think if he hadn't been able to bring it under control, would have been a good opportunity for the Fury. There's a little bit of a body language. You were starting to see Stroud getting a little bit frustrated here in the second half. He's not getting the service that he had in that first 45 minutes, and you know, when a player's not getting the service, Graham, he's got to go demand the ball himself from that wide position. Step inside, ask for it, come a little bit deeper away from Howarth, and then you get an opportunity to quickly turn face up against the defender and see what's in front of you.
Foul called on Jordan Scarlett. Howarth tries to whip that one over to the wide side, out of the reach of Gagnon Laparé. Good challenge there to knock that one into touch. More pressuring here, cleared away by Thomas Meyer-Giguère. Oliveira under pressure, tries to make a run. Bit of a pick set there by Scarlett.
I've got to say, one thing that's really impressing me right now is that first ball out of defence, especially when it's quickly won by Ottawa. 9 times out of 10, it's finding a black and red jersey, Graham. It really is nice to see. There's no panic. They're getting their heads up. Meyer-Giguère there, that last one, get the ball played up. I think it went to Oliveira in central midfield. And it's just, they're looking very composed out there right now. They're nursing this 1-0 lead, but they're not sitting back on it. They're not just trying to defend for the next 30-35 minutes and see if they can hang on for this 1-0. They look as if they're more than willing to attack, get bodies forward, and that's so nice to see.
All right, hearing that we have breaking news down pitch side from Tyler McDonald. Tyler?
Yeah, this is probably the biggest news I've ever broken in my career. The royal baby has officially been named Archie. Great name, modern name on a classic, I guess, sitcom, comic book.
Good old Archie Punkert. Well, thanks very much. I thought you were gonna. When I heard it in the air, I'm like, oh, okay, it's gonna have an impact on this game. It's gonna be like Gordon, you know, really strong.
Nothing wrong with that.
Really strong name. Sounds somewhat regal. Or maybe, you know, Callum, Carl, right? Something that would touch on this game. But no, we go Archie. I like it. Although my kids are Reginald and Fitzgerald, so I can't really make fun of kind of those types of names. But Sam bodied off the ball there as he was again putting himself in dangerous enemy territory, as more Sam just seems to get better game by game for Ottawa in that attacking role.
Yeah, you know, he's been an absolute find here in 2019 for the Fury, coming over from Tromsø. He really has looked so alive every single time he's out on that park, Graham. But he also does work on the defensive end as well. We've seen him getting back into the defensive third, making tackles, certainly on set plays he's back there. I just really like the look of the player. He really does look as if he's really suited to this 4-3-3 formation that Nikola Popovic is putting out here in 2019.
From Senegal to Norway to Ottawa, Canada. My goodness.
He's got his air miles sorted out.
He's
anyway,
got his air miles.
Sure. He's probably got some
he's
Parkers.
I was going to say, he's probably got some stories to tell the folks back home, and they just can't compute the degree of cold that he would share with them, especially with what he would have had to endure when he showed up here in February.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if minus anything has even come into the discussion with his family, but fair play to the young man. He's come over here, and as I said, he's fit in seamlessly, Graham, with the Ottawa Fury. He's going to take a real quality player if they do bring in another, and we've talked about this in previous broadcasts. I think they still need to bring in another striker, Graham, another forward player that's going to push these three lads up front to give them a hard time.
You have depth in spades in defense, most certainly in midfield.
For sure.
But if you can get one more depth player in that role, and the other thing to keep in mind, there's one player that I can't wait to return from injury, because he went out in the school day game this time last year, and we haven't seen him since, and that's Maxime Tissot. And how and where is Nikola Popovic going to use him? Because you can use him as a left back because you know he's got the pace to get up and down the park. How dangerous would that be? Because his pace matches that of Carl Haworth. Or do you play him more up top as a winger as well, and what he could bring to that role? So that will be a welcome problem for Nikola Popovic.
And I think that's the way this is set up right now in that 4-3. It is really the only two areas he can play. Is it left back or where Gagnon Paré is right now, or Oliveira role?
Knocked away by Barnathan. Ball fall. Nice chip forward to Gagnon Laparé. Wins the ball there, and Scarlett down in a heap on the pitch, and that really was a 50-50 ball. He might have taken a bit of a knock. I don't know if it was on the lower leg or if it was his knee that might have been jarred on the challenge, but he remains down in some discomfort on the pitch.
Yeah, well, Gagnon Laparé had every right to go for that ball. It did appear to be going away from him, but a crunching 50-50 tackle, both players not giving an inch at all. Here we see the two of them there. And Gagnon Laparé just goes right through him. He's making sure that ball is his. Nice to see Scarlett back up on his feet, making his way back to his defensive position, but
be sure to tune in on Wednesday, May 22nd for the ESPN USL Championship Game of the Week on ESPN News, as league newcomers Birmingham Legion FC welcome Nashville SC. It's the week's best match on the Game of the Week, May 22nd on ESPN News. Francois Oliveira leaves for Fall. Back to Oliveira. Can't get a clean touch. Now he gets an effort. And that one didn't come off for Kevin Oliveira, but some great movement at the top of the penalty area by Ottawa Fury FC.
Yeah, I can't tell you how difficult this ball is that was just played over the top there by Val Fall to Oliveira is to make. He's got to take enough off it that it gets up and over the defender, but he can't hit it too hard that it's going to make its way all the way through to the goalkeeper. Terrific piece of skill by the big German there in central midfield, up at the edge of the 18-yard box. Tell you what, the Ottawa Fury are looking really, really solid. I mean, 60 minutes in, to me, this is their best performance of the season, Graham.
Yeah, it's been great, and Val Fall in that even more advanced role than we've seen him in this season, making things even more dangerous for Ottawa in their attack. Carl Haworth now on the right side. Haworth delivers a nice low one into the back post. Kevin Oliveira can't bring it under control to keep it in play, as Evan Laurel was caught in two minds whether to stay or go, and then he elected to leave it. So Oliveira had all the time in the world, but he couldn't bring it under control. Now New York looking to counter here. Gagnon Laparé pokes that one away. Val Fall can't get to that one.
That's play. Good play by the referee. Let play continue. That might get called back for a yellow.
And Callum Irving out to challenge there. And we'll see if anything happens when we get a break in play here.
Yeah, he's got to call it. That last attack there by the Ottawa Fury there, that unfortunately went under the feet of Oliveira. Again, Carl Haworth reading where the danger was ahead of him, quickly getting into the space and playing another fantastic ball right behind the back four in front of the goalkeeper. just no one there ready to bust a gut to get on the end of it, Graham. But Carl Haworth yet again showing how invaluable he is to this Ottawa Fury squad here in 2019. We seem to say it every year.
And Haworth is infuriated right now that play was whistled down, and he went over to speak to Yusri Rudolph, and you could see that Zayats got up just fine.
And it's not a head wound. I mean, so obviously that's what he's saying. If it's not a head wound and you haven't identified it immediately as a head wound, then play should have been allowed to continue. And that's the unfortunate part, I think, that Carl is trying to point out, is that, well, wait a second, you didn't blow it up right away for a head wound. Play should have been allowed to continue.
So Volfall gets the warning from Yusri Rudolph. Carl Haworth is still incensed, and it looks like we have a substitution coming up here as Ben Mines looks to be coming into this game. We just don't know who he will be replacing.
51.
And it will be Kyle Zayats, the man who was fouled by Volfall. So Mines certainly brings that extra bit of offensive punch for New York, and we've seen him the last couple of seasons against Ottawa.
Just having a quick look to see if it's going to be any change to the setup for. It's almost like New York right now. We're going to a 4-4-1-1. Stroud has been pushed into central midfield from that wide position that he'd occupied earlier.
Oliveira with a great touch there as Ottawa go looking for more. He tries one from distance.
I'll say one thing, this Ottawa team is certainly full of confidence right now. I mean, it's been building up for the last few games, certainly Atlanta. You know, the one thing that we've seen this afternoon is everybody wants to get on the ball. Nobody's edgy or afraid out there, Graham. Everybody wants possession. Everybody wants to be involved in the attack. And that's the one thing that as your season starts to go on and you start to be more familiar with each other. We talked about it, about the chemistry with Coach Popovich at the press conference after the last home game. How important that becomes, the chemistry that starts to build up between Jaguar and Natakora, between the three lads up front, between the three triangle playing in central midfield. And it's just getting better and better over the course of the first 6 games they've played, and certainly here this afternoon.
Well, and their performance at home had to be better and consistent this season, and so far so good. And even when you look at that 3-0 loss to Nashville, that was not a 3-0 game.
No, it wasn't.
At least for 45 minutes, it could have been Ottawa in front, and up until kind of the 2 and then 3-0 goal that kind of came in quick succession. That game certainly wasn't a reflection of how Ottawa played on that day. Really, you could say the only poor game I've seen from them was that 1-0 loss in Louisville, and they still did enough to win. Callum Irving stood on his head in that match, and Ottawa did have some good chances late to do enough to at least get a draw. But barring that match, as you say, better and better each and every game.
The last 2 minutes, Graham, we've saw 2 balls now played out wide on the right, and there's been no one from in an Ottawa Fury shirt tracking back to pick up. I think it was number 72, Rito, on that far side. Both times he had free rein down that flank. Somebody has got to pick him up. And if they have made a switch to possibly 4 in midfield, you've got to make sure that your 3 gets cover from the fullbacks, whether it's Haworth or Gagnon Laparé. They can't be curling in too close to the stoppers. They've got to allow for that wide play coming in from the flanks for New York Red Bulls too.
Well, you could even see on that last play there when Francois got possession. Usually that's where you see that overlapping run outside or a drive through the middle from Carl Haworth. Not occurring there, as being a little bit more cautious now. 65th minute here at TD Place. Ottawa leading by that 1-0 score on that first half goal in the 6th minute by Volfall.
I'm just looking down the bench here. I mean, I just wonder if Coach might look to freshen things up here with a substitution of his own. They've only made the one that was at half-time, the Charlie Ward replacement. I just wonder if maybe you'd look at one of the 3 strikers. Some of them might be maybe tiring out a little bit there, Graham. They have done a lot of running.
Well, you have to think at some point Daniels looked really good as a sub this season, and Prote Mutumbala, he's come in the last couple of games as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Daniels probably would be the first one if you're looking to shore things up a little bit in midfield.
Or
maybe Jamar Dixon.
If you're, I was going to say, if you're feeling that it's going to be tight like this, you bring Dixon in and you make sure you're really shored up defensively.
Maybe yourself, you go to a 4-4-2 if that's what you want to maybe look at. I don't think that's something Coach Popovich likes to get away from. He wants to stay within his system. He wants to stay within the structure of his tactics. And he's having a quick cat at the coach here now.
John Wallenick getting a word from Yusri Rudolph. And he has been, as Tyler mentioned from the pitch side, he's been very vocal on the day, and that's part of his nature. We see this every time that they play here. So he gets the warning from Yusri Rudolph. Wallenick has a pretty impressive record at the helm of New York Red Bulls too, and he has done that organization very well with what he's developed with their reserve squad. Francois to Howarth at midfield, plays it all the way back to Irving. He has to be quick on his toes there. That one out of the reach of Valfall. Adekora knocks that one down, and New York really pressing forward. You see 3 gray shirts always pressing now, so Ottawa's going to have to be very cognizant of their positioning.
They just seem to be getting more bodies in midfield, Graham, and I think that's what Ottawa's struggling right now to come to grips with. There's an awful lot of grey shirts in that central midfield area that before possibly hadn't been there.
Great touch there by Valfall to help out, and Gagnon Laparé to do the rest of the work. He just has that remarkable ability just to poke a toe in to dispossess a player. And we talked about this from the very first broadcast of the season, and he continues to do that consistently each match.
Well, that's why he was obviously brought back here, wasn't he? I mean, he's someone that obviously the coaching staff feel confident enough in. Oh, it's a bubble over the top.
Meyer-Giguère, good work there to recover on the second bounce.
He's almost like a jack of all trades, though, Gagnon Laparé, isn't he? He can play on the right side, he can play on the left side, he can play in the back 4, he can play in a midfield 3, and he's so important to how this entire team wants to go out there and operate.
Well, I'm glad you like him, but I was talking about Fall.
Dear.
I don't disagree with what you said.
It's just that Gagnon Laparé was the one that was on the ball at the time.
No, it's just because he was on the ball, but Fall had just come in there, poked it away into his path, and anyways, we're all good, Gord. We're good. That one headed into touch by Preston Kilwine. Again, he came in at halftime to replace Sean Nellis. So he was the first of 2 subs now for New York.
And he's looked fairly solid back there, Graham, as well. I mean, 2 similar type players, lots of height, physical type players that are more than willing to put their body on the line. And obviously I think it might be in a case where, we're going to give you 45 minutes, we're going to give you 45 minutes. And, let's see how you develop.
New York again attacking forward with numbers here. Played to the top of the 18. Offside flag stays down as they pressure here, falls loose, and Thomas Meyer-Giguère, as composed as you could be in such a dangerous area, able to clear that one from harm's way. And now Moore Sam tries to put Jordan Scarlett under pressure. They'll try and spray that one wide, and that one well over the head of Edgardo Rito.
20 minutes to go, and I guess if it's me, Graham, I am looking at possibly freshening things up as we see that last attack there. Thomas Meyer-Giguère just trapping the ball between his legs, getting it knocked 50 yards up the park, and again the Fury got a chance to breathe. But I would be thinking about possibly bringing on some fresh legs, Graham. It has been a bit of a slog these last 10-15 minutes. New York has made the change in personnel, and they have looked a lot more livelier here in the second half since that change.
Manella plays it wide for Carl Haworth. His first touch to Cristiano Francois. Can he beat his man? Gets his first touch, gets it beyond Kilwine, but he's able to recover and play it back to Evan Lauro.
Yeah, good defensive play by the big lad, wasn't it? I mean, he saw the danger there. He kept his body obviously between the ball in Francois and just didn't allow him any because Francois's got a bit of pace himself, Graham, to get in behind the defender, but did well.
Good movement now by Ottawa on that left side. Val Fall now switches it over to the right to the captain, Carl Howarth. Great first touch to play himself on. Now he finds more Sam. Sam onside. Sam cuts back onto his left. Sam looks for an option to Oliveira, but he can't hit it cleanly and easily stopped by Evan Loro.
Well, again, I thought Sam should have taken that earlier, Graham, on his right foot, decided to cut it back onto his left, and unfortunately for the Fury, that chance broke down.
That effort takes a deflection off Meyer Giguère, and Callum Irving able to bring it under control.
One thing that was important, though, again, was a good run by Val Fall to the edge of the 18-yard box. And unfortunately, we did see it on the replay there. Right there, he's got to possibly take that on his right foot. Have a little bit more confidence, Graham. And that ball came into Oliveira. Val Fall was just coming into the picture.
Yeah, great ball though. Great ball to Oliveira. If he can hit that with any pace, then he puts Loro in a trickier situation. Whether he forces him to make a save, maybe puts out a rebound.
And to me, that's the one thing that's lacking in his game right now, Graham. Is just that little bit of belief in his own ability. I get in good. I take up really good positions. I get in open in 18-yard box. Just take that first time shot. Get it going away. Certainly for the goal, we saw the vision he has cutting it back. And when we got a chance to see the goal again, the fact that the ball, he was almost 90 degrees to Fall coming in because he's looking ahead to see what's in front of him, made a huge difference.
Oliveira looks to his left, finds Gagnon Laparé. Back in for Oliveira, under pressure. Oh, just out of the reach of Val Fall. Just half a stride too far in advance. Otherwise, Ottawa would have had a great opportunity inside the New York penalty area, as we see Onwell Obasi getting set and ready to come into this match on the Ottawa bench.
Well, that's an interesting one because where do you end up with him? He normally plays.
Well, I think you might see Val Fall come out. Gagnon Laparé push up into the midfield. Obasi go to that left back role.
Yeah. And yeah,
just someone who's composed on the ball, get that size advantage in there as well with Obasi.
For me though, Gagnon Laparé's had a really solid afternoon in at left back, and there's always a tendency to stick with what you've got already. Leave him where he is. But yeah, you're right. I mean, that would be the natural. If you're not looking at bringing a Dixon on for a Val Fall, then that would be the natural move, right?
Darn it, Gord, you just said they got to change things up. Now he's doing it and you're not happy.
Oh, no, I'm happy. Don't get me wrong. It's just more for the fresh legs more than anything else. And if you're looking at Gagnon Laparé, there may be a few minutes of adjustment to get Obasi back into the swing of things. It's a lot easier to do further up the park if you're in a midfield position. And Obasi has played midfield before too.
Corner number 7 now coming for New York.
Going on the back post for Ottawa.
That one headed away by Carl Howarth, and Cristiano Francois does the rest of the work, but work still to be done for Ottawa. That one headed down. Scarlett was in position, but in behind him, and now Howarth tries to spray it forward out of the reach of Francois. Kilwine through the middle. There's an effort from distance and punched over the bar by Callum Irving as Jared Stroud just took a look up and sent one in on target.
Well,
and Irving had to send that one over the bar. What an effort.
Nobody goes out to close him down, number one. And I think, yes, as good a save as it was for Irving, it was pretty much straight at him. He just had to make sure he got enough contact on it. Good goalkeeping. But my goodness, what a hit that was by Jared Stroud.
Second corner, that one completely mishit as unmarked opportunity. I think that was Ben Mines that was in position there. And it will be Val Fall coming out in place of Onawa Obasi here in the 76th minute. So we'll see what type of formation change, if any, will occur as a result of this.
And I think Val Fall this afternoon showed just how important he is going to be to this Ottawa Fury squad if they're going to have any success here in 2019, Graham. He's an 18-yard box to 18-yard box type of player. He's so good in attack. He's good in the tackle. He's great defensive awareness. I think a real find, along with as we said earlier, Sam, for the Ottawa Fury, and it does look like Obasi.
Janos.
No, it's really interesting. Meyer Jaguar is now moving, possibly moving over to left back. Maybe Barnathan's moving back into centre of defence. So go the same back four, and they push Obasi up wide on the left. But very interesting. Maybe he's just doing that right off the goal kick. I wouldn't be if it's me. I'd be getting in my left back position and making sure I'm getting right into this game as soon as possible. He wins a header. Now he's just dropping back into the left back spot. So Gagnon Lapare looks like he, as you'd suggested, he was going to replace Val Fall in central midfield. Obasi at that left back. Ottawa still sticking with this 4-3-3, the triangle in the middle of the park, as they try to see out these final 15 minutes plus time added on, Graham. What would be a really, really good win for them here.
Oh, most certainly. Janos Luba, number 66, coming in place of Reese Buckmaster. So that is the third and final sub for John Woliniak's side. Good win there by Chris Manella. Reversed by Francois, back to Manella. Into the middle for Oliveira. Gagnon Lapare looking back for Oliveira, just out of his reach, and challenging was Evan Laurel, who quickly throws it out. Rito down that right side, has some room to run. Closed down by Moore Sam, cuts it back into the middle. Reverse back to the outside for Edgardo Rito, marked by Ono Obasi. As the fresh legs come on there for Ottawa, and Obasi called for the foul. And now a free kick coming near the corner flag for New York.
Well, the Fury have had to defend quite a few set pieces here, Graham, in the last 10 minutes, either corners or free kicks. They've got another one to defend here. Stroud open here at the back post area. Nobody's picking him up at all. He's still not picked up. He's trying to ghost into an open space.
Headed away by Moore Sam. And Kevin Oliveira does the rest of the work to clear it away, and Cristiano Francois gives chase. Francois, can he get beyond his man? He does. He's pulled down from behind.
Trouble. That's trouble.
And that is for sure going to be a booking. What color will the card be? It will be a yellow card to Edgardo Rito. And if you're going to take a foul, that was a necessary one for Rito to take, as Francois was starting to stretch his legs and bridge and create a gap.
Well, he'd misjudged the ball initially, and then he just compounded it by pulling him back 50 yards from goal. So it was a fairly straightforward yellow card there for the referee to show, but just got to try and get Oliveira, Francois back into this game again. The last 10-15 minutes has gotten away from them as far as an attacking side. They've done well in midfield, they've done well at the back to hold back any pressure that's been coming in from New York.
Howard's delivery. Evan Laurel collects that one, with Adakora making the run to the back post. Laurel quickly throws it out, played all the way back now to Jordan Scarlett. Scarlett to Kilwine. Kilwine again. Marked by Moore Sam. Tries to play that one out wide. That was looking for Luba. And Carl Howard just trying to shepherd this one into touch. Now he gets himself into a bit of trouble here. Recovers nicely. And that one knocked into touch for an Ottawa throw near their own corner flag.
Yeah, I think he was trying to let that run out, and then he realized
there wasn't much pace on that ball.
No, there wasn't. Rather fortunate, to be honest, when they get 1v2 there, that he could have coughed that up. It went his way though.
Needed some help from the wind. Good delivery into the penalty area, headed away by Obasi. New York still in possession, and we'll head down to pitch side and hear from Tyler McDonald. Tyler?
Thank you very much. And New York, as they just proved there, trying to use the wide far side, send the ball over there and then overlap to create a crossing effort for New York to try and tie this game up at once. At least that's the message coming from the New York sideline for Ottawa Fury FC. Try to get a faster pace in terms of pressing the ball and get more players to make a better effort in terms of trying to get those turnovers that have proven costly so far for New York Red Bulls. Back to you guys.
Yeah, we just haven't seen enough of that. in the second part of the second half, Tyler, and I think that's one thing that as this game has gone on, it's just allowed the Red Bulls to get more and more territorial possession in central midfield. They've taken a little bit of a grip of that the last 10-15 minutes, and the Fury have been on their back heels slightly, but they're still in the lead, 1-0 so far this afternoon with 10 minutes left to go.
Good recovery and effort from Gagnon Laparé, and Moore Sam has some room to work here. Sam has Oliveira making the run forward. That one out of his reach, and then Scarlett's clearance off his own man as that drops Kilwine as he took it right in the solar plexus.
Perfect pass back to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, hey, whatever works, I suppose. Intercepted by Manella.
That was a real dangerous counter-attack break there. Sam did really well to keep that ball in play. Wonderful ball by Gagnon Laparé.
Forcing
Carl wants this quickly.
Clearance from Luba.
There's no one there though, that's the problem. There's no one in an advanced position enough to help Carl out. Now he's caught out down at this right back position.
Yeah, no one's. Howard trying to get back into that role, but there's two gray shirts there in space. Howarth, good effort there. That was an important challenge from Carl Howarth. Good work by Moore Sam to poke a leg in there to maintain possession, regain possession, I should say, for Ottawa.
You got to talk to each other, lads.
Yeah, Barnathan and Atakora almost collide, but Oliveira now in possession to Gagnon Laparé in dangerous middle of the park, under pressure, back to Obasi. Hearing that Jamar Dixon will be coming in for Fury FC as expected there as they try and close this one out. Gagnon Laparé takes it down to the corner flag, trying to find an option here under all kinds of pressure. He's just bowled over, and that one going out for the goal kick as he takes a knock to the back of the head.
It looks like Jamar Dixon is going to be coming in and Oliveira possibly coming out, so maybe just a case of going with two up top, Graham, instead of the three they've gone with in these first 83 minutes. As they just tried to consolidate this 1-0 lead they've got. Hanging on a little bit here over these last few minutes. That was a terrific run though by Gagnon Laparé right down that left channel. Nice ball by Obasi to find him.
Luba's pass, that one intercepted by Barnathan. Francois back in the middle for Manella. Tries to pick out Sam just a bit ahead of him. As Francois was trying to make that run down the right side. Had it got into Sam, Francois would have been free and clear down that right channel.
And the one thing that's been really, really impressive, as much as most this afternoon, is the supporting of the ball that the Fury are doing with each other, Graham. They're doing a terrific job. He's off.
Oliveira away to the races here. Kilwine to beat. Oliveira still going! And he tries to poke it to the back post, but doesn't hit it cleanly with that left foot. And that one goes out for the goal kick. And he has had his chances today.
And when you get into that 1v2 as well as a goalkeeper coming out at you, Graham, the odds were always going to be against him that he could get the ball on target. But here's the replay. Goes beyond Scarlett. And he's off to the races at this point. I think earlier on he may have made the decision he was wanting to cut back onto his right foot. And when he got into that position where finally he just had to take the shot, it was skewed well wide. But here is now Dixon going to be coming in. That was Kevin Oliveira's last part in the match here this afternoon. Another solid performance by him.
85th minute this substitution occurs with Ottawa in front 1-0 on that first half marker by Vol Fall. And Kevin Oliveira had a strong game for Ottawa, certainly had his chances, and had he buried a couple of those, it might have been a different substitution at this stage in the game, but nonetheless another strong performance from the Cape Verdean international.
And that's what you're always going to get from Oliveira. He's always going to be in good positions in the box. He's always going to be supporting very well, and he's going to get chances, whether they're half chances, whether they're full chances, doesn't matter. He's always going to be in and around that 18-yard box with a chance to win you the game.
More Sam reverses for Gagnon Laparé, plays it out to the right side for Cristiano Francois. Tries to get beyond his man, almost breaks the ankles of Janos Luba. Manella Back to Francois, reverses to Jamar Dixon.
Oh, they pushed Carl up on that left-hand side, Graham. Jamar's gone in it right back.
More Sam in space. Sam cuts it back. Francois hits it on the volley. That one's blocked. Francois again tries the effort and just misses wide with the left foot at the back post as the chances continue to come for the Ottawa Fury.
A terrific sequence of play there for the Fury. One-touch passing from Manila to Francois, back to Dixon, inside up. Lovely stuff here this afternoon by Ottawa, but they're still hanging on to this 1-0 lead. They've got to try and get this second goal that really would kill the match off as a contest.
Well, trying, I think they're doing. Finishing
yes,
on it, I think, is the other matter here. Daniel Laparé pressuring his man all the way back now. Kilwine under pressure from Manila. Now Jordan Scarlett. Move things around here. 87th minute. 1-0, Fury FC leading in the annual school day match against New York Red Bulls 2. And we'll head down to hear from Tyler McDonald pitchside.
Thank you very much. Head coach John Wolinek is absolutely irate with the way his team has been playing these last 5 minutes. He wants to work the ball to this near side and feel like his players aren't working it here. And at the same time, not really having the exact positioning that he wants. They're both coaches trying to reposition his team here in the last 3-4 minutes here before stoppage time to try and get a tying goal in this match. But a very animated and very worrisome from New York because they haven't been nearly in the positions of where they want to be to try and close this game out. Back to you guys.
Thanks very much, Tyler. Well, work to be done for both sides, for New York to try and find that equalizer and for Fury FC to close out what would be a very important 3 points here at home.
And a lot of that, the point Tyler just made, Graham, is it's just as much Ottawa's doing as anybody else's. They've defended extremely well in the defensive third. They've not allowed an awful lot of opportunities from open play. Certainly, I think New York have looked dangerous on set plays when they've had them, but from open play, the Fury they've bent a little bit, certainly haven't broken here this afternoon. And with 2 minutes left to go, they are staring down the barrel of a massive, massive 3 points that would jump them up ahead into 8th place here this afternoon, tied with Louisville City, but with a better goal difference on 13 points.
Right. It's still early in this season, but I'm going to say this. Since 2015, in this organization, talk has been cheap. You say something, but do the actions meet what you say? What you're going to deliver to your fans or just the performance on the field? We heard a lot from Julian de Guzman and Nikola Popovic in the offseason, in the preseason, what they were trying to build. The actions are now meeting their words, and it's been some great stuff from Ottawa. And as you said earlier in the broadcast, every match, it's better and better.
Yeah, you know, like we heard so often last year, Coach Popovich talking about culture and talking about his team and talking about his stamp on what I think now he's had, 2 transfer windows, maybe 3 if you look at the beginning when he came in last season. He now has selected, along with Julian, the players that he feels fit perfectly into his system. Bringing along a player like Moore Sam, who came in late to the pre-season and has fit in so well here in the games that he's played at the start of the season, alongside Francois, alongside Oliveira. Francois was brought in, I think he'd only scored 4 goals for his previous team last year, so he wasn't brought in as an out-and-out striker. But so much more that he brings to the table for this Ottawa Fury, and it makes such a big difference to how you're able to set up in this 4-3-3. We've seen 4-3-3 since the days of Mark Dos Santos here, Graham, and it just continues. It continued to Dalglish, it continued to, well, even Julian when he took over part-time as coach himself, and now of course Nikola. It's now starting to work, and where the players are buying into the system a lot more than they had been before, doesn't matter.
We've hit the 90th minute mark, 3 minutes of additional time, and now Moore Sam intercepts, waiting for Francois for the run. His shot is blocked. Sam tries to play it forward to himself again. Now New York look to counter here. Obasi can't get a touch, and New York away with numbers. First back for Ottawa. Thomas Mayer-Giguère, captain calm back there. Back to Callum Irving.
He's got to play that early. Moorsam had the run there by Francois. He slips it through to him. We're looking at 2-0, Graham. This game is over. As it is, there's still work to do for the Ottawa Fury. I'm sure when Moorsam looks at the highlights at the end of the game, he realises I needed to pass that up.
Howarth. Pressure coming from Scarlett. Finds Manella. Now Cristiano Francois. As Ottawa just tries to drive this one out. Francois' effort right on target, punched away by Laurel. New York back in possession here. Manella pressuring. As Red Bulls 2 advance their way up the field. And a foul called there on Dakota Barnathan, and he'll go into the books, and that'll be a yellow card he'll be happy to take. We've played just over a minute of the 3 minutes of allotted stoppage time.
Well, it's all hands to the pump now, isn't it, Graham? You've got to get everyone back at the edge of that 18-yard box. That ball's getting pumped forward. You've got to get bodies back.
Mines plays it through. Danger coming here for New York. Top of the penalty area. They tied the game. New York Red Bulls 2 have tied things up here.
Jared Stroud.
And it is the man, the second highest goal scorer for the Red Bulls this season, Jared Stroud, his 4th goal of the season.
Well, they had the overlap.
One coming in the 92nd minute.
Yeah, they had the overlap down the left-hand side, Graham, and unfortunate for the Fury, they didn't have enough bodies there. Almost similar to the goal Ottawa scored themselves earlier on. Cut back from the byline. And it was Stroud coming in just around the penalty spot, driving the ball into the bottom right-hand corner. But an overload the Fury couldn't deal with down the
a great
right
delivery from
oh, it really was.
Janis Lobu. Jamar Dixon. He gets pulled from behind by Ben Mines. And now Ottawa will push forward here, and Mines will pick up a yellow card for that challenge.
Yeah, I don't think he's worried about that whatsoever, but well, sheer drama here at the end of the 90 minutes, Graham. We saw it so many times in previous seasons, and unfortunately, you just can't hang on and keep a clean sheet this afternoon.
And you hate when you think of like those opportunities Oliveira, Sam, Francois all had. That one delivered in by Howarth. Takes a bounce. Obasi back to Manila. He slips. And now an opportunity for New York to counter again here. Knocked down by Gagnon Laparé. Headed back to Callum Irving. We've played over the 3 minutes of allotted time, and that's the final whistle. It will end 1-1 in heartbreak for Ottawa. A game that they almost took wire to wire. But they'll have to settle for the single point on the day. Final score here from TD Place. Ottawa Fury FC 1, New York Red Bulls 1. We'll be back to wrap things up just after this. This is Ottawa Fury FC Soccer.
These photos I had to dig for because I would hide from photos. I didn't want to be acknowledged. What I would say to my former self is just get started, just begin. Go into Good Life, meet with the trainer, go to a class, just start.
Come on, come on.
Come on, go make some friends.
It's so tough to give them a run in the city, but they really love it here. Be gentle, be gentle.
I'm making friends. See the one that, well, it's just going in circles?
Yeah.
That's mine.
Off. Come on, time to go. Come here.
The all-new Crosstrek.
Come here. Now.
It's up for it.
Oh, no. Oh, there he goes.
I just shampooed him this morning.
There are 8 million kids in Canada. By the time I finish this sentence, 6 of us will be cyberbullied. By the end of the month, 1 million. Bullied. We're not okay with that.
Welcome back inside at TD Place. It's full time here at the annual school day game. Ottawa Fury FC 1, New York Red Bulls 2-1. Heartbreak for Ottawa. Val Falls scores in the 6th minute. A lead that Ottawa almost took wire to wire. But Jared Stroud had other plans. He scores in the 92nd minute. And that's why we finish 1-1 on the day. Gord, your thoughts on the 90 minutes?
Well, if a point gain can feel like 2 points lost, then we've certainly seen it here this afternoon. I thought from start to finish, back to front, the Fury were excellent today. They really were. They were good in possession. They supported each other well. They were getting penetration at times during the course of the game. Could have been 2 or 3-0 before it ended going 1-1. But it is part and parcel of what we've seen in this early part of the season for the Ottawa Fury. They're getting chances. They're getting good chances. They're just not able to finish and get that killer goal that puts the game out of reach.
Let's have a look at our match stats brought to you by Rico. You see 12 shots to 10. 5 on target for Ottawa. I still don't believe the 1 on target for New York. They had way more than that. Irving made a couple of saves as it was. Yeah, they did. At least they got at least 1. Yeah. But it just shows you the kind of the high octane offense that we saw from both sides on the day. 22 total shots on the day. Possession really for the most part dead even. New York certainly threatening a lot more on set pieces. I think they had 7-8 corners on the day. If you look at it from the stat side, you could say, hey, you know what, pretty much deserving of a 1-1 result, and I'm sure New York would argue it the same way. But the chances were there from Ottawa, and I know that this one will sting, and if anything, it just means that they'll probably put that much more into their next match on Sunday against North Carolina. Let's have a look at our man of the match for today. No question, his best performance in Fury colors, a welcome addition back to the lineup after missing a couple games with injury. The man who scored the goal that certainly looked to have them positioned for the victory on the day, Val Fall.
As we said during the broadcast, 18-yard box to 18-yard box, he brings so much to this lineup. His ability to read the game, ability to bring players into the play as well. But above all else, I like the fact that he's willing to get himself into goal-scoring positions, and that is huge. The system the Ottawa Fury play, you've got to have attacking midfielders that are willing to get in beyond them. And we've seen Val Fall do that a few times earlier on in the season. Seen it a couple of times this afternoon. Took his goal very, very well. Assist by Sam, but at the end of the day, after a thoroughly entertaining 90-plus minutes here, a share of the spoils for both teams, and 1 point, New York heads back. Possibly the happier of the two teams, I would have to say.
Yeah. Thanks to all the students that were in attendance today, understanding over 6,000 plus here at TD Place at the annual school day game. 6801 in my ear right now is the attendance on the day. Great crowd, great atmosphere.
Squeeze that one guy, that one wee guy that came late. We snuck him in.
He snuck in the back of the bus. For our entire broadcast crew, our producer Colin Murphy, for Tyler McDonald and Gordon Smith, I'm Graham Ivory. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. This is Ottawa Fury FC Soccer.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.